Hey guys, it's Mason here. I figured this would be a good test of the new microphone. It's pretty windy and it's cool, but we're out. That's what matters, right? That's right. Headed off to the barn here, watch the girls do some horseback riding. They got a show today, and believe it or not, I was ready to jump in the truck and thought to myself, what are you doing? It might be cold, but you got the gear. Take the bike. So here we are. Best decision of the day so far. Got some tunes playing in the Senna. I'll tell you, a fella could get used to this. This is motorcycling in the lap of luxury, I tell you. Last week we had our first dual vlog with myself and Mrs. Mason, and I'll tell you, that takes a bit of getting used to. And the funny thing is, when we were getting ready in the shop, it was maybe slightly overwhelming. You kind of get used to gathering your own thoughts before you get out there, and it was busy. There was a lot of chatter, which is awesome and fine, because usually you don't hear it like right in your helmet. So right off the hop I was kind of thinking, uh-oh, what have I done? But it's amazing how once you get out on the road, you know, you settle into a very similar thought process and path. Obviously the riding is first and foremost, and that's where the majority of your attention goes. And so the talking just has to flow, or you're not going to say anything. It's kind of interesting because I never really thought about it before. I think that's why sometimes you get back from rides and it's not until you view the footage that you actually hear what you said. So after our little run last weekend and back and put it through the video editor, and it's surprisingly good. It's pretty cool. The levels aren't bad, and the audio is relatively clear. Now, we weren't going very fast. We'll have to try it again on the highway and see what that does to us, but generally speaking, it was everything came out pretty nice. So if we can get that kind of audio when we're out for a tour, that would be great. Anyway, we'll see what we got. So yeah, the roads have dried up here. I'm not sure if they've dried up because they've dried up or if it's just cold enough that they've tacked up, but regardless, there's no mud. That's a nice change because these roads have been slop for 3 weeks. But that's about it for now. I'm going to head into the horse show, watch the girls run here today, and then maybe this afternoon Mrs. Mason and I will get out for a rip, which would be pretty freaking cool. Canada Goose. I just interrupted his Saturday bath. That was second. Guys, how's that for a view? That's not too shabby, eh? So guys, the horse show went really, really well. Both girls came home with a handful of ribbons, and I decided that it was a good afternoon to just head out for a bit of a tour. So here I am. And what we're doing is we are running along the edge of the Niagara Escarpment, right along the shore of Georgian Bay. Beautiful out there. There's the islands. That is the east side of the peninsula that we're seeing across the harbor there, of the Bruce Peninsula. And the escarpment. We're running along the top of one step here, and the other one is to my right, runs along the edge. Usually when I come along here, I come from the other end, and you don't get this whole view as you come down around these corners. So today we're running it backwards, and this is the view we get. Isn't that beautiful? So yeah, this road kind of bounces along the shoreline of Georgian Bay. It's really grown up over the years. This is where I grew up, this area, and I remember coming along here in the school bus every day, and there not hardly being any trees, just looking right out over the water. But it has grown up now. It's getting fairly developed too, actually. A lot of these shoreline properties now have homes on them. It sure is a great spot. So the Bruce Peninsula is bordered on two sides by Lake Huron on the west and Georgian Bay on the east. So it won't be too many more weeks now, guys, and this will all these trees will be in leaf, so we won't get this much of a view even. Well, that's what our trip's about today. Let's go see what we can see. Here we are down in Big Bay. And this is where the barge loads up to head across to Griffith Island, which is that one we're looking at straight across. This is officially the stone skipping capital of Canada. And is it ever? Like I said, I grew up not too far away from here, and so this is where my parents would bring me down on the weekends, and we'd come down and have a swim when it was hot. So because the bottom of the beach here is all this little tiny round flat pebbles. Apparently the eddies get in here and kind of work little circles and little holes and dig little deep little areas out. And so apparently when I was 1 or 2 years old, I was in there sort of paddling around, and my dad, old Mason, who doesn't swim very well, was watching me, and all of a sudden I took a step and disappeared out of view. And he jumped up and ran in and went to where I disappeared and reached down into the hole and grabbed me and dragged me out. So that's my Big Bay story. Obviously I was too young to remember it, but it sure makes for a great tale, and this is where it happened. Right here in the stone skipping capital of the world.